Are you ready? Break it down! Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's a brace, boy. Yeah, that's a brace, little man. Break it down! Degenerate tonight! Degeneration! You think you can tell me what to do? Know who you're talking to? Well, you better get used to the way the war bounces. I see what you got, inventions and ounces, but that's a break, boy.
Let's fucking go, baby. Welcome back to this episode of Cope's Corner. I'm your host, as always, Mike Copenhaver, aka Real Mike. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube now only. No more Twitch. I guess I can't go on all of them, but stoked to be here to talk about some UFC 275. My man, Mr. B, the MMA guy, will be the co-host, and we have a special guest host here today, the Bane, Ben Davis from Twitter is going to be on here. He's really, really funny. One of the best dudes on MMA Twitter. So stoked to have him here when we do talk about it. But first and foremost, I'd like to thank some sponsors of the show. First sponsor that I'd like to thank on the show is, one second, Melon Brand Hats. It's a luxury line of hats that my boy Brian McDonald came up with in high school. He's one of the co-founders. He talked about how we'd have a hat line unlike anything else. Some of these are waterproof, like these neon hydro editions. Some of them are that the pastel pack that just came out. They have some camo ones. They have some lumberjack ones with warm earmuffs, or if you're in cold weather. So I really, really can't thank Melon Brand Hats enough for supporting the show. Secondly, I'd like to thank FokaiStuff.com, FOKAI Stuff.com. It's Guamilian gear, vibe island wear. My boy Rome from Guam, he came up with this dream to have hats, beanies, baby blankets, all kinds of islander vibe wear. It all supports all the islanders over there from Guam, so make sure you go and give them some support. And they've also been supporting MMA since as one of their slogans. And then thirdly, I'd like to thank Sua Law Group. My boy Brandon Sua, one of the best attorneys that there is in the 805 and anywhere in the world. He's right there featured in the middle. They do family law, criminal defense, and personal injury. I've had my own personal injury cases that they've settled out and got me tremendous amounts when I got in a Harley accident, when some dumb broad was texting and cut me off. And then a couple other things that they helped in a criminal thing for my brother, of course. And so if you guys need some help in the 805 or anywhere in Los Angeles County, make sure to give Sua Law Group some love and go and call them if you need some help, and they'll get you what you need. I'd like to add Mr. B, the MMA guy here. Stoked to have you here to talk about UFC 275, man. My man B, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Stoked to be here to talk about this weekend's UFC extravaganza. There's 11 UFC events in a row with this one counted. I was 12 with last week, but we have 11 more in a row after this weekend. So I really, really can't. I couldn't be more excited for this weekend's extravaganza. But how are you and your family? Doing good?
Yeah, man. Everybody's doing well. Can't complain. Still getting over this illness. Well, I'm feeling a lot better than 2 weeks ago. So let's just clap it up for that one. And yeah, man, all's well.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're in good health and good spirits. Stoked to see you with your little green screen poster of Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka. It's going to be a great main event this weekend, and there's also some really good fights of some people that a lot of you guys might not know that's going down in Singapore. Really, really going to be some fun stuff. It's like I said, it's in Singapore. So is it going down a little bit early, B? 4 o'clock Eastern Standard, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It starts on Saturday, so it's not really going off too early. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so it's actually sticking it right in the slot for the Saturday pay-per-view slot. So it's going to be really, 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 really exciting. We have Valentina Shevchenko taking on Talina Santos, Weili Zhang taking on JJ 2, and then a bunch of other really, really good ones that we're going to be able to talk about, and we'll give you our best bets as we go through them. But the first bout of the night, we'll jump into it, and we'll wait for the Ben Davis to jump in the mix. But I don't want to stall the show too much, so we'll just roll right into it. The first fight of the night is Jocelyn Edwards take on Ramona Pascal. Jocelyn Edwards is 10-4. She calls herself La Pantera. She's 26 years old. I think I already said that. 5'8" with a 70-inch reach. Two fight losing streak though she's on. Fights out of King's MMA. She's really, really talented when it comes to standing, really aggressive, throws a lot of good combos when she gets them off. But her Achilles heel is her wrestling. She has absolutely zero takedown defense. And it really, really irks me in the sense in this fight here, they're going up to the 145 pound division. It was supposed to be at 135 pounds. I guess there was something that happened with Ramona's camp, and they talked behind closed doors with Jocelyn Edwards' managers, and they ended up, I guess Jocelyn Edwards is going to get a cut of Ramona's purse, right, B?
Yeah, because it's supposed to be. Well, let me clear this. It was supposed to be something around 135. Then it was like 145, but I think Ramona messed up, something like that, and so they cleared that up.
What up, Army Bet?
Jocelyn is gonna get about 30% of the cut of the purse.
That's a fat cut for
And it was go ahead.
That's a lot of a cut for, like, it wasn't even like on the day, right? Then they did, must have earlier this week they came up with the deal, right?
Something along the way, or like somewhere along the way, or someone like hours ago or something like that. It was like real late, but that's what happened, man. So, Jocelyn decided she was gonna eat some bread, get herself a little bit more bigger, and that was it. And here we go.
Yeah, so either way, Jocelyn Edwards, I like her stand-up a lot. She's super aggressive, really athletic. She's taking on Ramona Pascal, like we just talked about, who's 6'3". She's 33 years old. She's 5'7" with a 66.1 inch reach. Really weird reach right there, 0.1. I mean, you might as well say 66 inch, but you want that 0.1. She's on a one-fight losing streak. She fights at a Syndicate MMA, originally from Hong Kong, so that's why she's on the Singapore card. She last took on Josiah Nunez, and she lost a unanimous decision. Josiah, how do you say that? Josiah Nunez? Josiah Nunez, sorry. So many different names, it's hard to keep up with them all. But yeah, she's a little Tasmanian devil, and you can't really hate on her there. But once again, the wrestling, it was the stand-up of Ramona Pascal that really lost her that war versus Nunez, and Nunez's scrambling ability. But then she beat Shamar Pasha by knees, the body punches round 1. But that girl was 2-0, and then the other girl she beat was 0-0. Other girl was 4-5 and 0-0, and she lost to a 2-2 girl, a 2-0. I mean, Ramona Pascal, man, I think this is a clear cut case for Jocelyn Edwards to finally showcase her striking skills, maybe with the non-weight. With Jocelyn Edwards, I think this is a chance for her to actually, maybe the weight cut not weight cutting benefits her too as well. Maybe she's stronger. I think that it's going to benefit her because she's the better puncher, she throws better combos. I think that she could absolutely damage Ramona Pascal, possibly even finish her. She really, really put her mind to it. But right now, the odds makers have. Hold on 1 second. I forgot to pull that up like a rookie. I know Edwards is a favorite, and let's see. Ramona, she's a negative 160 favorite on 5 dimes, so you got to throw $160 on Jocelyn Edwards, plus 150 comeback for the underdog Ramona Pascal. I think Jocelyn Edwards, this is her fight to win here. I think her stand-up is much, much better, but it's her wrestling that is absolutely atrocious. If she had some kind of takedown defense that I could rely on, I would bet the 1.6 units all day, but I cannot play with that there. But I'm picking Jocelyn Edwards to defeat Ramona Pascal. What do you say about it, B?
Ooh, I'm
a
little teeter-tottering.
Hey, we're teeter-tottering. Hey, there's no for sure on that one. That's not a bettable fight even. So don't quote me.
Now, I agree with you. Edwards is gonna be a little bit. Well, she's definitely gonna be the faster of the two. She's gonna come with a little bit more output of the two. I'm looking though for Ramona to come in there though, and manage to throw some shots in there.
Black Lives Matter, B.
You got to give credit where credit's due, man. You got to give credit where credit's due. Ramona took a licking against Nunez her last fight, man, but she kept pushing forward. Edwards doesn't have that level of power, but she has the output. She has a crazy output. I think Ramona's gonna be able to eat a couple of those, as DC would say. I eat that, and she's gonna eat a couple of those shots. I think she's gonna look to close distance to try to get her reach. Edwards does have a longer reach, so Ramona's gonna have to get inside and put a wrestling on her. If she could get the wrestling, those takedowns, necessary takedowns, I think she could get those. It'll be a little bit of much easier fight than her last fight. but she's gonna have to weather a storm from Edwards, man. But I'm gonna lean towards Ramona on this second fight here.
Oh
I could
man.
eat crow when it's all said and done, but
I
I'm
hope
gonna
you
lean
eat
towards
punches.
Ramona.
I hope your bitch eats punches and bunches. No,
No offense.
I guess no offense.
None
I'll say.
taken. No
Yeah.
disrespect, Ramona. No
Hey,
disrespect.
Ramona,
But we
don't
going
come
for
and
Ramona
hate.
here.
Don't be coming hating on me. All right, it's a female dog. I was just joking. But no, I think that Edwards' hands are that mean. But once again, your girl's ground game is possibly that much better. So it's whoever gets off their storm first, I think, can get this done. But Ramona just stands a little too flat-footed for me to put my faith in. I just think she's going to eat some punches and
I kind of agree with that one. Yeah, I agree with
in the
that one.
clinch, maybe knees to her face. Even I hope it's a good one though. For a low-level women's MMA fight, I'm actually kind of excited about this one because the fact that Edwards is so exciting when she stands in the sense, and then Ramona is exciting if she gets down the ground. So it's going to be a very sloppy, fun bout between the two. I know that a lot of people don't like, women's MMA. I do. I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of all MMA, but I like the women's MMA because they've put their heart out there and really banged.
Yeah.
So
I throw heat, man.
Yeah, really, really. So I'm looking forward to this one. Edwards, if somehow the line gets down to a -160 or something, or a -130, I might throw it down, but -160 is a little too high. She started at -180, so it is coming down a hair, but not enough for me to jump, leapfrog onto her. But the next fight of the night is going to be a good one. It's another girl fight in the 115-pound division. I'm going to let you jump into it first. It's Silviana Gomez Juarez is taking on Na Liang.
Yes, sir. So we got this strawweight fight here, man. La Malvada, Silvana Gomez Juarez, 10-4, man. 37 years old, 5'3" with a 63-inch reach, born in Argentina. Currently riding a 2-fight losing streak, man. Representing Enchlam Gym, formerly Assassin Baby, Brandon Moreno's gym. But she's still there. As I said, currently riding a 2-fight losing streak. Well, her last fight, she lost to the Vanessa Demopoulos by armbar in round 1. She dropped Vanessa, but did not see the arm. Well, damn, she kind of jumped into the guard, which was a bad idea, and got caught by an armbar. Before that, she fought Lupita Godinez, and Godinez pretty much ran roughshod, got the takedown, started muscling up on her, got the armbar. Before that, she won by strikes in round 2 against Gisele Pereira. Diana Reyes, she beat by punches in round 1. Soraya Orozco, she beat by unanimous decision. That was back in Combate. She fought Lipsky too, like a couple while back, but she lost that one by decision. She's going up against Na Liang. Now, Na Liang is one of these upcomers that they got here for the UFC. Dragon Girl, 19-5, man, 25 years old, 5'5" with a 67.3-inch reach, representing China. Out of Longyun MMA gym? Yes. She lost in her debut against Ariane Carnelossi, which was a hell of a fight, man. But she just had a bad gas out in round 2, man. Got overwhelmed, lost by ground and pound in round 2. Other than that, she was riding a really good win streak, like 5 wins, where she won about 2 of them by armbar and 3 of them by TKO. The girl got skills. She got a lot of wins, a lot of submission wins, a lot of TKOs. She's also won by the sword and lost by the sword. As far as submissions go, by that armbar. But Lania is pretty good, man. She's pretty good. As far as I say though, Gomez can strike. She's really good with her boxing. The gym really handles themselves with their boxing. But her I don't know what's going on with that defense, man. Armbar defense looking bad, man. On these streets. And not can catch people with those submission skills. Also, she's pretty damn scrappy. You know what I mean?
For about 2 rounds.
I'm leaning towards Na in this one. I'm leaning towards Nah because Nas managed to catch these people off guard badly with these submissions, man. No disrespect to Sylvana. Sylvana's a little up there in age. She did look good against Demopolis, man. It's just that the submission skills of Nah, I'm thinking she's gonna come out, clean that up, and do her thing, man. So I'm gonna go with Nah Liang. Going with China in this one.
Exactly, baby. 16th century warrior, baby. I'm going with Na Liang. I'm going by armbar too. I think that she absolutely smokes Suarez. I just don't think that this girl Silviana Suarez is even in the caliber on the ground as Na Liang. The ferociousness of Na Liang is absolutely amazing. She is really, really fun to watch fight. And these two girls are going to throw some hands at first, and there's going to be some good scrambles. But at the end of the day, Silviana Gomez Juarez Achilles' heel is arm bars, and Na Liang's favorite thing to do is to drop an arm bar. This is why it's going to have to be my first bet of the night, and I'm dropping on Liang Na. I'm putting down 1 unit at the plus 107 on 5 dimes. So plus 107 will win you $107 extra on your 100. I think that she absolutely smokes Silviana Gomez Juarez and makes fried rice out of her. So with that said, that'll be the first bet for Cope's Corner, and we'll find out next week what it's all about. The next fight of the night, this one will be a very entertaining bout. We have Batgirl Dana is taking on Kyung Ho Kang, Mr. Perfect. Batgirl Dana is the Storm, he called himself. He's 12-3. He's 32 years old. He's 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. He's on a 1-fight losing streak, fighting out of Jackson Wink MMA over in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He last took on Chris Gutierrez. He lost by spinning back fists and elbows in round 2. And then he beat Brandon Davis knees and punches round 1. Kevin Navida, counter left hook. This dude's a finisher, and he throws fucking banger hands. The only thing that I don't like about him right now is the fact that he just got silenced less than 3 months ago, pretty much less than 3 months ago. I don't think that really sits well with your brain and your equilibrium. That worries me in the sense because he's taken on Mr. Perfect here. Not that Mr. Perfect is the most powerful dude, but he's got experience and he's been here for a long time. He's 17-9. He's 34 years old. He's 5'9" with a 73-inch reach. He's also on a 1-fight losing streak, fighting out of South Korea. Shout out to that Korean barbecue, baby. Love that beef bulgogi. And he fought and took on Ronnie Yaya, and he lost a unanimous decision. Ronnie Yaya is a vet, super scrappy. Actually showed up really well that fight. And then Peon Lee, he beat split decision, who's 15-5. And then Brandon Davis, he beat with split decision, 10-6. And then he lost by rear naked choke as a tapper versus Torito Ishihara. I do not like tappers, and you know that, Mr. B. He's only tapped. He's tapped a couple times actually. So on one armbar, one rear naked choke. I definitely don't like it. I'm favoring Dana Batgirl here. I think even though I don't like the only 3-month layoff, I think that he's more powerful in the pocket, that he's very explosive and deadly. I think Mr. Perfect worries too much about his face being perfect, and that Dana Batgirl should get this done. But like I said, I would not bet my house on it. I wouldn't bet everything and my mother on it because of the fact that he did get silenced recently. Right now, the odds makers have Dana Batgirl at a -115 on 5 dimes, plus 105 comeback from Mr. Perfect. He opened up at a -150 and has now dropped down to the 115. So there's some there's some value now on Dana Batgirl. I'm picking him though just because of his power in the pocket. But don't get it twisted. If Mr. Perfect could end up hitting him and rocking him in the same spot that he just got rocked 3 months ago. But I highly doubt that. I'm going with Dana Batgirl here. Who do you have, Pete?
I'm taking on this one. This was one of the tough picks I had here between Dana and Kang. I want to take Batgirl. I want to take Batgirl because Batgirl is strong. Batgirl's been recently now training with Jackson Wink. Chris Gutierrez did clip him. He did catch him. Kang is not as much as the technical striker as Gutierrez is though. Gutierrez has that lead leg kick. He has that leg kick that, he can mess you up, then, puts it together with the hands. He called Dana. Kyung Ho Kang, his strikes aren't that powerful, but what he lacks for in that striking, he makes up for in that grappling. That grappling is serious, man.
He's a purple belt.
I think it's going to come down to how much control he can manage to get on Dana, man. If Dana can manage to keep this fight standing, He'd probably blow the blow this man Kang out the water, man. But if Kang can manage to make this nasty, get inside, and just keep this 3 rounds of straight up grappling, I think he gets that, man. I think he gets it. I'm going to think, though, I'm going to wane on the fact that Dana will come back. In a way, but when I think about it now, Kang has the ability to get this shit to the ground and do that shit for 3 fucking rounds, man. God damn.
When's the last time?
Garella's strong. And the last time when he debuted on the Shenzhen card, he did get taken down quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now when I'm thinking about that shit, god damn.
Mr. Perfect. Hey, do you know why Mr. Perfect hasn't fought since 2021?
I think if I remember correctly, I think that was like a little bit of issues. Yeah, it was some issues that was going on. I want to say an injury, but I might be a little off.
Yeah, no worries. I was just curious.
2020 had happened too, so you know what I mean. He didn't really get to fight, but might be an injury. But yeah, it was a little bit. But yeah, man. I'm now when I'm thinking about it, I might go King.
Holy shit!
King.
Me and Mr. B are he's against me all night here, huh? Cheers. Boy.
I want to take the nod, man. Cheers, dog. I got coffee though. Yeah, man. I might go King. I might go back girl. This shit made me having me go back and forth, man. God damn. All right, I'm gonna take Batgirl then. I'm gonna take Batgirl.
Holy shit!
Take Batgirl.
Is that your final answer?
Might help him.
Is that your final answer?
It might change. I don't know.
Holy shit! It can't be changing. Yeah, this is why we're not betting this.
Shit.
This is exactly why this is a no bet. There's no way in hell I'm betting on this fight. Possibly, maybe the under. Let's see what the under is at because let's see if we can have some fun with the under. How are there no fucking props out? I do my show on Friday so I could see more props. There's no more props than that. Batgirl wins by decision. King. What is going on in the world? Hold on, let me reset this just in case. Best fight odds. You need to get your shit together, boys. Okay, it's Friday. I waited all week. There's only 7 odds out on the Dana Batgirl Kung Ho, Kyung Ho, or Mr. Perfect. I don't even know how to say his damn name. Yeah, I can hear you. You good?
No, I said you really?
Yeah. It's only 7 odds on. Every other one has 68, 57, 67, 68, 117, 121 on the main event. Very weird though. If it's an under 2.5, I really like it. If it's under 1.5, I'd have to see the number. But if it's plus like 115, I definitely like that under 1.5. I think one of these guys either submits the person or knocks them out. But this is one of those fights that I there is no bet other than possible just a violence bet. But with that said, I have Dana Batgirl and V. Who did you side with?
Originally, I was going with Dana. Now I'm thinking King might get the takedown, but then Batgirl could just totally change that shit with just one shot, man.
I hope my boy punches your dude in his fucking face when he jumps in there.
He just needs one shot.
Uppercut that fool right in his bitch ass chin. Bah. Yeah, you saw. Hey, let's talk. You know, we weren't going to go over last week's because we're supposed to have a guest on.
Here we go.
So, but hey, what was it? Damn, what was we talking about? What were we just talking about, B?
Knockouts. We just talking about knockouts. Yeah, I hope your guy beats my guy beats your guy.
Something last week happened. I can't remember now, but either way, during the card last week, it went 3-2 on the card. We ended up only cashing. I think it was $75, but it was a back and forth. I'd lose a bet, I'd win a bet. I'd lose a bet, I'd win a bet. It was
because Gravely had that KO.
Fuck Gravely, goddamn fucking Tony. That's what we're talking about. Goddamn Tony Gravely, son of a bitch, piece of shit, cocksucker. I don't know what it is, why I hate him so much, and he just keeps fucking me right in my ass with no lube, and I got to come in here again and apologize to Tony Gravely for the shit that I talked about him last week. Okay, this is what happened. This is why I brought it up. He threw they called it an uppercut. They called it a perfect uppercut. It wasn't a fucking perfect uppercut. It was like his bicep. Was it not, B?
It was like a shovel punch almost, man.
It was not a perfect.
He tried to get under, but like he just threw it and it just caught him.
I know, but was it a perfect uppercut, B? No,
Nah, I don't think it was a perfect.
No,
It was a perfect.
it was not a fucking boom, fucking straight up in his shit and fucked him up, bro. It was
It
literally
didn't
his
look that way.
arm.
It didn't
That
look
shit
that way, but
pissed
they
me
caught
off.
him though.
God damn,
They
pissed me
caught
off.
him.
That was the worst loss last week that I fucking took. If we would have won that one, we would have cleaned up. And then there was another one that we had that in the second round we possibly could have had that as a W. And then he ended up losing it up. And it was who was it by submission? I'm gonna look it up right now. Fuck it.
What was it?
I hate talking.
Oh,
about
Menafield. I think it was Menafield.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Menafield
by
second round.
submission, but he won
Yeah.
by he won by KO.
Yeah,
TKO. Yeah.
But yeah. So either
But
way,
also,
Tony
yeah,
Bradley, son of a bitch.
see, but you see, Damon Jackson came back though. Damon Jackson came back. My boy Daniel, dog. Put some respect on Daniel, man.
No. That was ridiculous.
Yo, that was crazy.
I don't even know. There were some good fights last week in the sense, but it was back and forth. I don't know very many people who cleaned up last weekend's card for betting, but it was gross. But either way, we didn't end up losing any money, so I wasn't too mad. There were some good calls that we had there for last week. But the next fight of the night B is one I'm gonna let you jump into first. It is Brendan Allen takes on Jacob Malkoun.
Yeah, I like this fight, man.
This
fight caught me off guard. But then I remembered that this dude was supposed to be on this card, so that's what had me. Whitaker was supposed to be on this card. He was supposed to fight this kid Vittori, but that's why. But yeah, man, all in Brendan Allen, 18-5, man, 26 years old, 6'2" with the 75-inch reach, representing Louisiana, man. Currently on a 1-fight win streak. He fought Sam Alvey, caught Sam Alvey with a rear naked choke. That was back in February of this year. Round 2. He went into grappling, beat Gabriel Checo, unanimous. Chris Curtis, he got knocked out, man. He got dropped. Round 2. But before that, he beat Punahele Soriano by unanimous decision, which I was really impressed with. And Carl Roberson, which he caught by a heel hook in round 1. Before that, he lost to Sean Strickland. But before that, he beat Kyle Dawkins. He's going up against Jacob Malkoun, man. Training partner, jiu-jitsu coach of one Robert Whitaker, but training partner as well. Training partner, yeah. Mamba Jacob Malkoun, 6-1, man. 26 years old. Out of Australia, 5'9" with the 73-inch reach, right in a 2-fight win streak. He beat AJ Dobson his last fight, unanimous decision. That was a pretty good fight. That was back in February. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, he unanimous decision. He lost to Phil Hawes by KO in his debut. Then he had these 3 wins on Eternal, the unanimous. He's had a boxing fight, but at UFC, KO TKO round 2, and strikes in round 1. Malkoun can strike. His boxing is improving quite a bit, but his bread and butter is his grappling. His grappling is really good. It's mainly him getting on the inside, but he gets on the inside pretty damn well, man. This dude caught him, lit him up, but after that, he got back to his bread and butter, kept it, keeps his head pretty tucked in, so he could shoot on the inside, throw a couple boxing combinations to get inside there. It's interesting because it's going to be Malkoun's grappling versus Allen's grappling.
Yeah.
Allen does have his kickboxing. He's been training with Sanford, is it? Sanford MMA, after leaving Rufus Sport. So he's been upping his game, mixing shit up together, getting a lot better. I think it's going to come down to Allen using that distance. My pick is Allen. I'll tell you that right now. I'm picking Allen because I think Allen's going to be able to keep distance. He'll be rangy. He'll throw those strikes. He's good with his body kick. He teeps off with his jab pretty well. He keeps guys at bay pretty damn well, unless he wants to close in. But other than that, man, Malkoun's good. Not for nothing. His hands are getting better. Trained day by day. I'm gonna lean towards more towards Allen though. I see Allen possibly getting a decision. If not a decision, probably a late finish, maybe. But Yeah, Brendan Allen, man. No
Yeah.
disrespect to Malcoon.
No, no.
Probably tie it up and make it crazy, but I'm taking Brendan Allen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you hit it right at the nail on the head there. Brendan Allen, BJJ black belt. Obviously, Malkoon is there. I don't know his jiu-jitsu accolades, but I know if you are a jiu-jitsu coach, you most likely got to be a BJJ black belt yourself. I can't find any. I looked up the information. I can't find his exact belt rank, but you got to believe he's a BJJ brown belt or black belt. So he's gonna, they're gonna have a wishy-washy type of a bout on the floor. But I mean, with it comes to Brendan Allen, I mean, this dude's also been in there with some of the best, some really good fighters in the UFC now. His hands are getting better and better every single fight. He's super young. He's only 26 years old. I think he got in the UFC when he was 24, 23 years old. I mean, this guy's tremendous. And so if you got to think if their jiu-jitsu kind of wishes and washes, that Brendan Allen, I think, has a TKO KO advantage. And that's why you're seeing the odds makers right now. They opened up Brendan Allen at a negative 190. He's been pushed to a negative 280 on 5 dimes plus 255 comeback for Jacob Malkoon. I like Brendan Allen here too. I think that all around mixed martial arts wise, that Brendan Allen has faced more competition. He's faced has way more fights under his belt. He's learned more. That he's just more experience all around, especially over here in the States, while Jacob Malkoon is from down under. But I'm going with Brendan Allen. Most likely, I think by decision or TKO KO, but I think decision is the better. Just a grind fest. Brendan Allen ends up winning this bout. The next fight of the night is going to be a good one. It is Steve Garcia takes on Heiser Mashat. Steve Garcia is 12-4. He calls himself the Mean Machine. He's 30 years old. He's 6 foot with a 73-inch reach. He's on a 1-fight win streak. Fights out of Jackson Wink MMA. He last took on Charlie Ontiveros. He won by ground and pound round 2. Luis Pena, he lost unanimous decision. And Jose Marscal, he won knees and elbows round 2. When this dude finishes, he can do ground and pound and do submissions. He hasn't really faced the greatest competition, so I'm not really too high on Steve Garcia. With this fight being over in Singapore, Heiser, 6-1, 22 years young, 6 foot with a 71.5-inch reach. He's on a 6-fight win streak. This dude's fighting out of 16th century China over there, 16th century warrior China. He last took on Achilles Estremitas, who's 7-0 on the Contender Series and won a unanimous decision. But before that, he's fought nobodies. 0-2, 10-15, 0-2, 0-0, 10-12, So it's like, man, very wishy-washy back and forth right now. The odds makers have Heischer at a plus 168 underdog, negative 180 comeback for Steve Garcia. I think that's fair. I think that Steve Garcia should be the favorite. He's opened up at a negative 300 favorite, though, folks, and now he's down to a negative 180. So people are buying in on Mashet, who was the underdog, and for good reasoning. He is aggressive. He is fun to watch, but I just don't know if he has the all-around game to go 3 rounds with Steve Garcia. But I'm not no bet here. I'm picking Steve Garcia just because of the experience factor. What do you say about it, B?
Yeah. I was a little wishy-washy on this one as well. As we had discussed a little beforehand. Yesterday, I want to take Garcia.
It's a no.
This will be this dude Heiser's first fight for the UFC, like
real fight.
Heiser's first official fight for the UFC. I watched his fight during season 5 of the Contender Series. Big kid. He's big, and he's young. He's pretty young. Early 20s. Big guy, can take a punch, can throw with it. I think Garcia's gonna be a little smaller of the two. Garcia is tough though. If there's anything about Garcia that you have to take into consideration, that dude puts on a pace. If you let him put on his pace, he will carry that pace for 3 rounds. You gotta hurt him, and you gotta hurt him bad. And this dude, Heiser can actually get that done. He's landed some big shots. I've seen his shots. He's capable of landing big volleys. You know what I mean? Some haymakers. He did get rocked, but as I say, he got a good chin. Peterson has to put the pace. If Peterson doesn't control the fight with the pace, Peterson's going to be screwed, man. Peterson's out of Jackson Wink, so, they're going to come in with a game plan. He's going to probably mix it up. He has pretty good, pretty decent boxing. Um, pretty decent boxing. He knows how to get in. He's very tenacious with his takedowns. Um, but
Mel
this dude
B, what's up,
Heiser is
bro?
big, bro. Hey, what up, Mel?
Nice to
Um,
see you.
he's really big. That's a big fucking kid, man. And I think when I say this, um, I think that boy's gonna make a pretty good debut, man. I think he might. I think he might. Um, he's gonna slow down Peterson. He's gonna look to rock Peterson, man. But
Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia.
oh yeah, Garcia. I said Peterson. I'm
Yeah,
my
it's
fault.
okay.
I keep thinking Steve. I say Steve, and I think
It's
I
okay.
think
Steven Peterson.
But
Ocho,
yeah,
Ocho Peterson. I
Garcia.
got you.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this dude's gonna make a splash, man. I think he's gonna hurt. He may hurt Garcia, man. He might hurt Garcia bad. But I see that going to a decision. I'm not sure if it's a KO, probably middle of the fight, but I see a decision. It could be a KO TKO for either one of those guys, but I
Yeah.
definitely see a decision too.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Garcia grinds out a decision, or I think that the young buck man, he can come in there and starch Garcia. This is a weird one here. Like I said, I don't have enough faith in Garcia to be doing that, but it is what it is. So that is that fight, and the next fight of the night is Siwoo Choi is taking on Joshua Kubao. Let's see.
Yeah, so Choi.
Joshua Kubao is Kuyo. He's 9-1-1. He's 28 years young. He's 5'10 with a 73-inch reach. He's on a one-fight winning streak. Fights out of South Wales, Sydney, Australia. He's got a BJJ foundation, but his striking has been getting better and better over there. He last took on Shaylin Noonbuck. He won by unanimous decision, and then he took on Charles Air Jourdain. There was a draw, split decision, and then he lost to Jalen Turner, ground and pound round 2. Jalen Turner is a beast, especially in that weight class, so you can't really hate on him there. But that's really the only time that he's ever been absolutely dominated was Jalen Turner, who's really big for the weight class, took on Joshua Calvillo and ended up starching him. Right now, the odds makers have Joshua Calvillo as a negative 210 favorite. He opened up. Negative 210 plus 210 underdog Joshua Calvillo is, which is pretty crazy. Those odds are a little steep. Right now is a negative plus 190 underdog, negative 210 comeback for the favorite Siwoo Choi, who's negative 210. Let's see, Siwoo Choi called himself Sting. He's 10-4. He's 29 years young. He's 6 foot with a 74.5-inch reach. He's on a one-fight losing streak, fighting out of Korea. He last took on Alex Caceres. He lost by rear naked choke round 2. That was the first time that he faced really tough competition since Gavin Tucker, who he lost rear naked choke as well. But with Siwoo Choi, this guy is not only is he tapped multiple times, I believe he's napped. Yeah, he's been knocked out before because his aggression, it kind of gets to him. He's got that Julian let me bang bro attitude. But I don't know, man. Call me crazy, but I think Joshua Kubao is a good underdog here. I think that I'm going to back him at the plus 190, and I'm going to make the Siwoo Choi show me otherwise. But who do you got in this bout, B?
Damn, you see, Mike, that's why we friends, man. That's why we friends.
Get it.
We taking the man Cooley Bauer here, man.
Let's go.
We're gonna take this man here, man. I thought hard about this. Choi has done wonders for me before. Not this time, man. Not this time. We got to take into consideration those losses.
Yep.
Mosar Evloev, Gavin Tucker, and the last one against Alex Caceres. Multifaceted guys. They could grapple. Whether it's wrestling or jiu-jitsu, they can grapple. Take this into consideration. Joshua Coulibaugh can wrestle his ass off. He is a very strong young man. He can take a shot. I know he's been dropped before, but for the majority of some of these fights he's had, other than when he got finished, that motherfucker could take a hit. Oh, shoot. I love his inside, his boxing game, his inside game, because he knows how to close in on opponents. He could ride against the cage pretty well. Those takedowns come in with authority. And yes, he lost to Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner, look at the size of Jalen Turner. He's not gonna worry about that against Sung Choi. Choi don't got that type of muscle like that. And Choi's his takedown defense is very iffy. It's pretty iffy. So I'm definitely gonna go with Koulibaly here, man. I think Koulibaly's gonna manage to go in, box him up on the inside, a little bit on the outside, getting a little bit on the inside, and mix it up with takedowns.
Yeah,
I can
baby.
see Koulibaly getting this with a straight up decision win, man. Make this joint look pretty damn simple and gas out that man Choi. So I'm gonna rock with that.
Hell yeah, baby.
We seeing Caceres go and do that same thing. Gavin Tucker managed to do that thing, and we know Evloev's capable of doing that to damn near everybody. So you know what I mean. I'm gonna rock with Koulibaly on this one. Underdog pick. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. So that'll be the second underdog pick for Cope's Corner. It'll be 1 unit on Joshua Caballo at the plus 190 on 5 dimes versus Siwoo Choi. I think that Joshua Caballo is being disrespected, and he's going to have a grind fest and win a 3-round decision and do the damn thing. The next fight of the night should be an absolute treat, an absolute banger. You're so lucky, B. You get to be the first one to talk about this. The first fight on the main card. Ramazan Emeev takes on Jack Della Mandolina.
Yes.
Let's go.
This is very, yeah. This is gonna be a really good fight, man. Facts at welterweight, man. Ramzan Goretz Emeev, 25, 20 and 5, 35 years old. 5'10" with the 68.5-inch reach. From Dilim, Russia. So you know what this comes through, man. Fighting out of Dagestan, Russia. Currently riding a 1-fight losing streak. His last fight, he fought Danny Roberts. Split decision loss. That was back in October. Really interesting fight there, man. Big props to Danny Roberts because Danny fought off those takedowns. He refused to stay on his back, man. Big props to him on that one. Other than that, before that, he beat David Zawada by a split decision. Nicholas Stolze, he beat unanimous decision, but he lost to Antonio Rocco Martin by unanimous decision. And he beat Stefan Skulik by unanimous decision. There's a lot of unanimous decisions that go on in here when he was in the UFC. The last time he got a finish, honestly, last time he got a finish was back in 2016. God damn. That was back in M1, man. He's going up against the boy, man. The boy had a debut fight, and he did pretty damn well. And he's coming back again. Jack Della Maddalena, man. 25 years old, 5'11" with the 73-inch reach, representing Australia. Currently riding an 11-fight win streak. So all his wins are his streak. He lost his first 2 fights. That's what I remember. He lost his very first 2 fights. And since then, he's been riding strong, man. He came into the UFC early this year officially, had his first fight against Pete Rodriguez, and knocked out Pete Rodriguez in a hell of a scrap. 2 minutes, 59 seconds in round 1.
AB, I'm gonna add Bane. Bane's in the mix, okay?
Oh, cool. No problem, man. No problem.
Our boy, our guest host, is in the mix. We're gonna bring him in. We got Ben Davis, the Bane. How are you doing, my man? How is my dude, the Bane, doing? Oh, hey, your mic's off, Bane. Hey, Bane, your mic. Touch it. It's on mute. Something's happening.
Check. There it is.
There you go. You're good, baby. How's my dude?
Fantastic. Here's what's funny. I had this very hearty meal of Indian food earlier today. I was over, and so I get this butter masala and some naan, and I got the timer on my phone, and I wake up, and I'm like, oh no, it's been going for 40 minutes, but I guess my camera's decided to be as blurry as
it's hater rating over there.
It really is. It really is. I'm not technologically savvy, boys, but it's good to be here.
Oh, okay, there we go. There, it's focusing in. No worries, bro. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm already 4 or 5 shots of Howler whiskey deep. First time ever having Howler whiskey because my boy Ben Davis over there, he's the ambassador for Howler Head whiskey. So make sure you go and get yourself a Howler Head whiskey. And make sure to go get yourself a bottle. It's actually phenomenal. First time ever trying it. It's got a light taste of banana, but it's really smooth. Reminds me of pounding Captain Morgan with all the girls in high school. A little stronger than that though. But there we go. But yeah, man, we jumped into some of the fights where we were just talking. Which fight were we on, B? Jack Della
We were
Maddalena.
Magdalena. We were on Magdalena versus Amiv.
Nice. Okay,
Yep, sir.
so B was just breaking it down, and I'll let you get your pick in that one after we all jump into it. So,
Sure.
get it,
Right.
B.
So, all right, cool, man. So yeah, he beat Lusa. On the Turner MMA, he won by punches. Back in 2020, and Glenn Pettigrew. Um, what's this pretty much about, man? We understand what Amir's coming in to do. Amir's gonna look to strike, or look to grapple, lock you up against the cage. There's a lot of clinching and a lot of wrestling involved with Amir. Magdalena, we understand. Magdalena's pretty loose, light feet, light footwork. Comes in with these crazy combinations, killer power in his punches. But I like his follow through, man.
Yep.
It's pretty damn good. For Magdalena, you got to circle out against the cage. Do not get yourself caught up in these damn clinch fights, this clinch fighting with Amiv. Amiv likes to stroll and rock out with these things. But we're also seeing with the judges that some of these judges aren't feeling this damn clinch control stuff anymore. You know, as we've seen with Holm and Vieira and a couple other fights, some people aren't feeling that, man. But Amiv has managed to get it done before. But because of some of these fights he's had that have been pretty close, pretty tight, I might look for Magdalena here, man. I think Magdalena may be able to get away and land some of these strikes to keep Amiv at bay. If he could work behind his jab pretty well, mix it up with some body head strikes, look for the opening, finish the fight, you may get that.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for Magdalena here, man.
Hell yeah, dude. I love that breakdown, B. I'm going to let Ben Davis jump into this and break down Jack Della Maddalena versus Ramazan Amiv. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, mate, here's the beauty of Jack Della Maddalena. It's the jab. He establishes it so well, so quick within the fight. And the difference between Maddalena and other people that operate behind that lead hand is the angles that he takes. He's not hitting you with just one jab consistently. I mean, he's mixing it up. He's finding different shots. And I just don't think that Ramazan Amiv is going to be able to deal with it super effectively. He absorbs 2 significant strikes per minute. I think if you give that much clearance with Jack Della Maddalena, it's going to be a short night at the office. You know, looking at Amiv's kind of last couple of wins, Danny Roberts split decision, David Zawada split decision. Not entirely convincing. It's not like he's going out there and putting on convincing performances. Maddalena, like you mentioned, is a proven finisher, finding KO, TKO wins in 3 of his last 4. So, you know, if I'm the UFC, the other thing we have to consider, right, is matchmaking booking this in the first place. Jack Della Maddalena, big debut win. I believe that the UFC wants to push this guy to the moon, and giving them a guy like Ramazan Amiv, I think is indicative of that. I think Maddalena in the first round or second round is likely the best play. But again, I mean, Amiv definitely has tools. He's not a can. None of these guys at the UFC level are, except Chris Moutinho, who no longer is a promotion. But I do feel that JDM, that's the move.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, man. JDM is just absolutely, his striking is phenomenal. He switched stances. When he gets in that southpaw stance, he lays down that left kick and also the left straight hand. Jack Della Maddalena, Ramazan Amiv is no slouch. He's going to have a little more of a clinch game. He's going to be more of a gritty, grindy. He's going to have to smother and wet blanket Jack Della Maddalena, in my opinion. But I think that 3 rounds, I think that at some point Jack Della Maddalena puts the hurt on Ramazan Amiv. And at negative right now, hold on. The odds makers have Jack Della Maddalena at a negative 150 on 5 times, plus 140 comeback for Ramazan Amiv. I'm going to be throwing down on the first favorite of the night. I don't like the line movement on the fact that he was an underdog, but either way, he's a favorite now at the negative 150 mark. So I'm throwing down $150, 1.5 units on Jack Della Maddalena to dominate Ramazan Amiv. I just think Amiv, his stand-up game is non-existent in the sense he stands a little too flat-footed, and that should get him hurt in the 3-round affair with his Jack Della Maddalena. So with that said, that's that bout. It should be absolutely phenomenal, and followed by an absolutely phenomenal bout in the next fight. We have Jake Matthews taking on Andre Fiallo. We got Jake Matthews, who is they call him the Celtic Kid. He is 27 years old. He's a plus 125 underdog when they open this fight out of Australia. He's 5'11 with a 72-inch reach. Dude is sick, man. He's started to grow into his body, into his frame. He came to the UFC super young. Didn't have all that muscle and body mass on him yet, but he's been filling into that. The dude's jiu-jitsu game is really, really slick on the ground, and that's where I feel like he does have advantages with other opponents. But he's taking on Andre Fiallo here. Andre Fiallo is no joke. He's 16-4. He's 28 years old. He's 6 foot with a 74-inch reach. He's on a 2-fight win streak, fighting out of Florida, trains with Sanford MMA. Dude gets a lot of looks with a lot of great people. He last took on Cameron Van Camp and knocked him out left hook round 1. Then Miguel Baeza, who I'm super high on, he starched his ass with punches round 1. And then Michel Pereira gave him his first and only loss, but that was his first bout in the UFC. So to lose to Michel Pereira, a 3-round decision with all the UFC jitters, with the lights coming at you, I like Andre Fiallo a lot here. I think that the Celtic kid, he's going to have a hard time with the man that Andre Fiallo is. At the negative 130 mark, Andre Fiallo's taking on Jake Matthews, plus 120 comeback for the underdog. I'm throwing down money on Andre Fiallo. I think he's the real deal. 1.3 units going down on Andre Fiallo to silence the kid, the Celtic kid, Jake Matthews. But we'll see what you guys say. What do you say about it, Ben?
Yeah, you bring up a lot of great points, and Fiallo seems to be Mr. Activity, right? Such quick turnarounds for him. And I think that it helps him against a guy like Jake Matthews, who, again, is more of a middle-of-the-road competitor. I don't think that Matthews is going to be a person contesting for the belt, and so Fiallo can make these quick appearances and have a lot of success. 6 KO wins in his last 7. You mentioned the Pereira fight, and that was I feel like it was a weird performance for Fiallo in the sense where Michel is hard to game plan against or strategize with, and it was clear he just couldn't get anything going. And you look at Jake Matthews' last fight, he was submitted by Sean Brady. And I will say that it's weird. Online, I've been seeing a lot of people that I respect and follow closely, and they're taking Matthews by KO. Yeah. And I just simply don't understand why. He's so forgettable. I can't really think of a Jake Matthews fight, let alone a Jake Matthews fight where he's starching people. So Fiallo by KO, TKO does seem like the logical play historically. I guess it should be a good fight. Like I said, I do respect these guys' opinions. So I'm like, there's got to be some reason why they're backing Jake. But at the end of the day, Mr. B, I got to go with Andre.
Yeah, I totally great breakdown, B. Ben.
I feel you.
All right, I feel you. What do you got, B? B's gonna go the other way. I already feel it. When he already's got the.
He's gonna go Matthews. He's gonna go Matthews.
He doesn't.
Why y'all getting me? Why y'all pressuring me?
He's drinking coffee. That's why he ain't drinking the Hallerhead. He doesn't.
Why you pressuring me for? Why y'all pressuring me?
Hey,
peer pressure. Nah, man, I'm taking Fiallo. You crazy? Get out of here, yo.
My dude.
The thing here that had me questioning though is how much of Jake Matthews has improved on his wrestling. Mm-hmm. That's that one thing that Jake Matthews has managed to do, but for some odd reason in some of these fights, he just left himself open because he wants to be trigger happy and try to throw punches and scrap with people, and then ends up getting laid out sometimes. It's kind of bad. As you said, he has filled up into that welterweight frame, so Fiallo is gonna get challenged by takedown attempts from Jake. But it's going to be a matter of how much of those takedown attempts is Jake going to try to initiate before he's like, to hell with this and try to throw hands with this man. We understand Jake Matthews tends to do this. It happens. You know what I mean? Certain guys, he sticks to the game plan. Other times, he wants to take a shot and then throw a shot. I think Fiallo's going to be ready, though. The quick turnarounds do help Fiallo a lot. And Fiallo has that devastating power, man. He's looked really great at welterweight so far, and I hope to see him continue this, man. So Fiallo by another KO TKO here, man. That's how I see it.
Nice. So we got all three of us. So throw your whole fucking house down on that fight right there, baby. Andre Fiallo at the negative.
All 3 bed, 2 bath, just the whole damn thing.
Just be a degenerate and throw your whole fucking rent on it. Don't worry about it. Your bitch will thank you later. Just take her out to a nice dinner. And give her some Hey, that's twice I said the B word, bro. It's the Hallerhead whiskey got me dropping B bombs.
It's different. It hits you different.
Hey, it's the banana. Maybe it's the banana dropping B bombs. I don't know. The B. It's crazy. I never dropped so many B bombs today. I even called the girl a B. It was crazy. But hey, that is what it is.
Yeah, what a glowing recommendation. What does Hallerhead do? It makes you become incredibly misogynistic.
Like,
and
you want to come a real piece of shit? You just
You-
drink this.
yeah.
You drink this.
douchebag when you drink this. Yeah.
No, me being a piece of shit has nothing to do with Hallerhead whiskey. Just a disclaimer, okay? I'm just a naturally piece of shit. So don't blame them, all right? You know, I don't blame it on the alcohol, all right? But I'll blame Ben because it's his fault for making me buy this shit. So, but we had to support his crew. You know, he's the ambassador for Hallerhead whiskey, so we had to make sure we show some love. But with that said, we have a phenomenal fight coming up. We have Weili Zhang taking on Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This is JJ Weili Zhang versus JJ2, mind you. We got JJ, who's 16-4. She's 34 years old now, 5'6" with a 65.5-inch reach. She's on a 1-fight losing streak, though, fighting out of ATT, Florida. One of my favorite camps over there with Mike Brown, Dustin Poirier, George Masvidal, and a ton of other great coaches and great people who train there. She last took on Zhang, and she lost a split decision there. That was 2 years ago, man. And we'll get into that more. But she took on Zhang 2 years ago. She lost. Then she took on Michelle Waterson. She won a unanimous decision. Then she lost to Valentina Shevchenko, unanimous decision. This time here versus Weili Zhang. JJ, obviously, amazing striker. She's, was a great champion for a long time here in the UFC. A lot of fun. She's a good character. But she's been off for 2 years, and she's taken on Weili Zhang, who's been training with Henry Cejudo, getting her wrestling game to the sharpest point that she's ever had. Weili Zhang, the Magnum, she calls herself. She's 21-3. She's 32 years old, 5'4" with a 63-inch reach. She's on a 2-fight losing streak, though, fighting out of China, and 16th century warrior that she is. She took on Rose Namajunas. So those are the two losses that she has. One by split decision, and then the other one was a head kick round. One more of a fluke. A lot of things were happening in that bout, but the second one was a little bit closer. And then this, like I said, she took on JJ back in 2020. She beat her by split decision. That was when Zhang wasn't even as well-rounded as she is. She's gained so much skill. Her wrestling has improved so much. I feel like JJ is absolutely fucked here. I feel like that she's going to get thumped on her head, and that she has she has the ability to have her head show damage so badly that there's lumps and bruises, and she looks like Sarah, the dinosaur on Land Before Time, after all the lumps and bumps and bruises that happens on JJ's face and head. So, I can't go with Sarah, the Triceratops from Land Before Time. It just doesn't work well with me. So it has nothing to do with dinosaurs. I'm just fucking around. But the fact is that I think that Weili Zhang, as she has trained and she's been working on that wrestling, and she is the real fucking deal. It's going to be my last bet of the night. I'm throwing down on Weili Zhang. I'm throwing down 1.5 units for her to do the damn thing and show what a 16th century Chinese warrior does to her victims. What do you say about this fight, B?
All right.
Now,
which
I jumped in last. I was going to say, so when you said B for the last spot, I jumped in, and then while I was talking, I was like, well, maybe he meant Mr. B.
Hey,
Go, Bane.
I never had so many B's in our life. We got Hallerhead whiskey with the bananas. I'm dropping B bombs. Start saying bitch.
We
got
Bane.
Bane. We got Bane. So go, Bane.
So, like you mentioned, right, the historical context of this fight is so interesting. Joanna Jędrzejczyk sitting on the sidelines since that fight in March of 2020. To me, horrible move. Now, she's obviously been so focused on things outside of the cage and outside of fighting, and we've seen time and time again that negatively affects fighters when they do come back, and when they do come back against an animal like Zhang Weili. And like you mentioned, that KO head kick. Loss minute 18 into the fight against Rose Namajunas, their first outing. Not a lot to take away from that in large manners. It get caught, it happens. But that 5-round split decision, that's where I think there's a lot to unpack here. And Zhang Weili definitely showed so many grappling improvements and kind of a tenacity to get it to the ground and keep it there. That's not something she had when she fought Joanna the first time, like you mentioned. There are wrinkles in the game that did not exist several years ago that do now. And in a 3-round setting against a 5-round setting, that's also incredibly important for context, because you've got a whole 10 minutes less to work with that Joanna didn't have. Again, Joanna, that was a split decision 5-rounder in March of 2020. Now we got 3 rounds. So I think that Zhang Weili is going to have a very easy time getting into the hips, taking it to the ground, and grinding her way to a unanimous decision. I don't think that there's going to be a finish You know, these girls are so powerful, but they're also very durable. Granted, Joanna does show damage in quite massive ways, but it really does the ring rust, the years off. I don't know. It doesn't build a lot of confidence against a person like Zhang Weili, who's shown in these last 2 years some big improvements.
Yeah, the great point. I totally forgot to point out. It is a 3-round affair. It was a split decision in 5 rounds, and the skinnier, less muscle attributed fighter is going to usually do better in 5 rounds. But with 3 rounds, Weili Zhang, she now has the wrestling that she was implementing in that game plan 2 years ago. Now she has 2 years extra of the cardiovascular system working, doing the wrestling, doing those reps with Henry Cejudo. Now in a 3-round fight with her wrestling now added to her striking, it's going to be a whole different character, in my opinion, with Weili Zhang. It's going to be an absolute phenomenal fight, though. So good point, Bane, is a 3-round affair. Yeah. What do you say about it, Mr. B? Oh shit.
Yeah, Bane, good point. It is a 3-round. It's 3 rounds. 3 rounds to get this thing going. And Joanna's going to have to push the pace, man, and she's looking to win this fight. That is the big equalizer, though. The improvements that Weili Zhang has been able to make in the time since they fought the first time. Weili is the stronger of the two, more powerful striker of the two. We've seen that Joanna managed to throw a lot more, but Weili has the powerful strikes. Joanna was not the same after that first turn, you know what I mean? That first round there, that first meetup. But, you know, she's still managed to be at the top of that division. The layoff is a big thing as well, because, you know, you lose track of focus, as Bane said. See if her heart is all up in here, man. We know Joanna could strike. A takedown defense is pretty well. It holds up pretty well. High-level output. But Zhang is such a tank, man. She does bulldozers through folks. And I'm looking for her to go in there, eat those shots, man, clinch up, get these takedowns in there, and just work on Joanna, man. We've seen that, you know, we've seen similar things happen when Joanna tried to go against Shevchenko that we have in the co-main here. And Rose managed to get her down there as well, you know. And Weili's wrestling has improved greatly. So I'm looking for another win here by Weili Zhang. Maybe another close fight, but I think Weili will get the W here by decision.
Holy shit, folks. You guys hear this? Is 3 in a row again. You guys get your verdict MMA out right now. You got the Ben Davis over here, one of the ambassadors over there as well. You could also, I'm also on the verdict as MMA as well. I think I'm a purple belt on there. I'm trying to get that up. It's pissing me off. It takes so long to get that belt rank up.
Man.
It feels like no different than a jiu-jitsu belt. It's like, what the hell?
It's not supposed to be easy.
Bro, it's certainly not. You know, but it's like,
if it was easy, there'd be no point.
Well, if I would have started in the beginning, I would have already been fucking all the way up. But, you know, I started a little too late. You know, I started a little bit before you started promoting them, Bane. So, yeah, but it's an amazing app. It's really fun. If you don't have any money, don't even need it. It's just, if you just want to just show your skills in MMA betting or MMA predictions, it's really cool. You pick the fighter, the way that they're going to finish it, and then if you think they're going to finish it, you pick the round. It's a lot of fun, man, and it just gives you like a little bit of credibility in the MMA, but it's just more for fun. I absolutely love it. It's more fun than DraftKings than me, but even though DraftKings is fun. But
there's no risk. It's not like you're going to be losing money. I think that one of the other big things with Verdict is the integration within the sports world. I mean, we're partnered with PFL, we're partnered with ESPN, we're partnered with Invicta. They show those scorecards on the broadcast, so you get to play a role in actually kind of presenting, hey, here's what the fans are thinking, which, I love it too. It's so much fun. But I do one last thing that just popped in my brain about the Joanna and Weili fight before we continue. In the last 4 years, Joanna Jędrzejczyk has only had 5-round fights, and she's typically been fighting once, twice a year since 2014. So again, I mean, I cannot emphasize this layoff enough. And so I believe it'll take at least the first round for her to get the gears going again. Boom, that's 1 round that's gone. Then you've got 2 rounds to catch up to Zhang Weili. And I hate to say this, but this feels like a tailor-made match for Young Jacek to lose.
Hey, it's just made. It's in Singapore. The 16th century warrior, Zhang. You know, she was a negative 210 closing last time or abouts. So you're getting 60 cents of value or more on her now just by betting her. In the sense, like, I know people love JJ. I love her too. Okay. You know what I don't love is that the chauvinistic side of me is going to come out. I looked at the weigh-ins. Did you happen to see JJ's butt? It was so flat that I could not believe that
all right,
it was
we gotta get out of here.
Non-existent, bro.
No,
The reason why it matters is in wrestling. And in wrestling, if you get both hands grasped underneath that non-butt, she's going to be taken down so easily. It's not even going to be funny, man. If you ever wrestle with someone, there's someone with a thicker lower body, they're going to be much harder to take down than someone with absolutely skinny legs.
It's why Michelle Watterson has a 100% takedown defense rate. I mean, it's just difficult to clasp the hands. No, but it's. I'll say this, Copes. If this intangible of somebody's butt, is a deciding factor, that might be something we have to look into moving forward.
I think you've this is a reoccurring thing on the show, is that I have a theory that, like, who fought from Ventura? Who's that? Talia Santos? No, Ricci, Tabitha Ricci from
Tabitha
805.
Ricci,
Boy. So I have a thing. I tell B, I said, if it goes to the judges and it's two girls and it's close, the girl with the better butt wins it. And
really,
it's proven. Hey B, how many times have we proven that shit? It's a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's a little bit too much.
He's begrudgingly agreeing.
He doesn't like it.
He's done it. It's right. He's right. He got it.
This is why I love B, because I'm like, this is like Home Improvement, right? I'm Tim the Toolman Taylor, and B is Al, all sensible, reasonable, and he's like, that fucking guy over the fence is an idiot. He's got his power tools, he's got his muscle cars, he's got his marijuana. That guy's crazy. Don't listen to that guy Cope over the hill, all right? But yeah, no, I love B because he always puts me in my place when I get a little too chauvinistic. But it was just something I saw in the weigh-ins. B, I don't get to usually see that on Wednesday. Now it's Friday. I saw her butt. The butt was flat. I just brought it up. But the next fight of the night is Valentina the Bullet Shevchenko takes on Talia Santos. I'll let you jump in that first, Mr. B.
All right, man. So we're gonna do. Okay. We got Valentina versus Talia, man. Women's flyweight title fight, man. Valentina Shevchenko. I don't know what else can you really say about this lady, man. Bullet, 22-3, 34 years old, 5'5" with the 65.5-inch reach. Out of Funze, Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. Currently riding the 8-fight win streak, representing that Tiger Muay Thai. The lady's an agent. She's an agent of chaos. She speaks multiple languages. She's riding this hot streak. She beat Lauren Murphy, her last defense, back in September of last year. She beat Andrade, second round. The Lauren Murphy was like four rounds. Andrade, she beat her in 2. That was back in April of last year. Jennifer Maia, she beat unanimous decision back in 2020. Caitlin, she beat. Liz Carmouche, she beat. That was a somewhat forgetful fight. Jessica I, she kicked that girl into the shadow realm. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, you know how that went. The Priscilla Cachoeira fight. She's going up against Talia Santos. Now, Talia Santos is 19-1. Out of Brazil. 28 years old, 5'6", with a 68-inch reach. Out of Jaraguá do Sul, Santa Catarina, Brazil. Damn. 4 wins. Let's see. She beat Joanne Wood. That hurt me. Rear naked choke back in the first round. Back in November last year.
I told you.
Roxanne Modafferi, she beat unanimous decision. Back in September. Jillian Robertson, she beat unanimous decision. Back in 2020 in December. Molly McCann, she beat. Her last loss was against Mauro Barella, who's not in the UFC no more. That was a split decision loss back in 2019. That's still crazy to me, but it is what it is, man. I don't know what to say. She's been so damn dominant in all these other fights. Like, what is there to say? What is Santos going to do that is going to stop Valentina Shevchenko. She could look to pressure. That's cool. She could be all up in Valentina's face if you want to. You got to eat shots. You got to eat a lot of. You got to deal with a lot of movement. That strength is different. That technique is different. Everything is polished, man. This lady takes barely a break. It's 24/7 training.
Yeah,
What are
baby.
we doing here? We're out of competitors for this
I love
girl
her.
to defend her title against.
I love you,
Come
Valentina.
on, man. Make the madness stop already. Either move her up to 135 or bring somebody that we don't know with an incredible record to come in here and fight Valentina.
Yeah.
That's it, man. I don't know what to say. Standing is going to hurt. If it gets to the ground, it's going to hurt.
Mhm.
It's going to hurt. Is this
Yeah.
going to be a decision? I don't think so. I think we're going to get a finish. I don't know when. I don't know how. But it's going to get done.
I agree, dude. What do you say,
No
Ben?
disrespect to Santos. Santos has some good skills. She has some good strength. But there's levels to this, man.
Yep.
There's levels. Hey, good's not great, and Valentina Shevchenko is greater than many in the scene
So
today.
great.
You look at that 4-fight win streak that Santos has amassed within the last 2 years, and it's just not convincing. A submission win over Joanne Wood warrants a title shot in what universe? In what reality? I will say what might be interesting to look up is, right, she had the Tuesday Night Contender Series win in 2018. Now she's fighting for a belt. I don't know if that's the quickest turnaround between a Contender Series person fighting for a title. Maybe I'm wrong. But it doesn't matter. Like it really is a step down, I feel, from competition. Valentina Shevchenko gets Andrade out of there in 2 rounds, gets Caitlin Chukagian out of there in the 3rd round. And Chukagian, I've kind of grown to have a decent amount of respect for over the last couple of years. Jessica Eye, that huge head kick, Joanna Jędrzejczyk decision. Talia Santos, what does she bring to the table, like you said, Mr. B, that these other more objectively established and accredited and decorated fighters haven't been able to do? I just don't see anything. Now, I think some people maybe have talked about the size advantage. She's got a bit of physicality. But again, that has not stopped Shevchenko. It's like people are trying, and that's why this fight's tracked horribly on all platforms. There's zero interest because it feels like the result is inevitable. Shevchenko inside the distance, likely outcome. I just don't see Talia doing much.
Yeah.
I just don't see her doing much, sadly. And if I were Shevchenko after this fight, I would make some more of noise about, hey, you got to give me somebody good, because I'm beating on these girls and this division's become dead in the water, and the interest is at an all-time low. So if I'm Shevchenko, a big win here, and then I make a statement that says, you got to give me somebody good. I know that she wants that Nunes rematch again. Her only 2 losses in the last decade of competition, I think, or something like that. So I'd say call out Nunes or try to leverage, hey, please give me a contender. So I'm not, just abusing these women in this division.
Yeah, 100%. I think Valentina Shevchenko, she is the absolute ninja goat. She is the best that there ever was for a women's mixed martial artist. My fiance hates how much I love Valentina Shevchenko. She knows that. She knows that I will leave in a second to make Valentina Shevchenko my wife. And so, Valentina, call me. All right. It's Valentina Shevchenko's skills are absolutely phenomenal. It starts with her striking that is unreal. She can switch stances. She moves all around the cage. She kicks with both legs ambidextrously. She strikes with both hands very freely. Then she put in her jiu-jitsu game and then her wrestling. She's had all the time in the world pretty much to hone her wrestling skills and to get her jiu-jitsu down to up to par for the best women's in the world. And Talia Santos got absolutely dominated by Maria Borello. Maria Borello, is she even in the UFC anymore? No one even knows who she is. Other than the fact that she's from Italy and I love Italian food, that's the only thing good that we know about the girl Maria Borello. I don't know how she beat Talia Santos, but she smothered her like a wet blanket. And if she thinks that Valentina Shevchenko can't smother her on the ground or then strike her in her face and kick her upon her chin and then take her down and then repeat, recycle, reuse, she can. Valentina Shevchenko, the Bullet, there's the reason why she's the champion and the most dominant woman to ever grace the octagon. She's a negative 525 favorite on 5 dimes right now, plus 450 comeback. A lot of people are saying they don't understand how, Valentina Shevchenko is this highly of a favorite over Talia Santos. But like I said, when Talia Santos' last wins are girls that Joanne Calderwood, who's tapped and napped multiple times in the division, and then Roxanne Modafferi.
Come on.
You couldn't even beat Girl Gumby. There's no fucking way that I could back a girl, Talia Santos, that couldn't beat Girl Gumby, Roxanne Modafferi.
You're not gonna disrespect Roxanne Modafferi.
Oh, I am. Oh,
I did do that. I'm not gonna do that.
I did
it. Do that, buddy.
I did it when you bet her last time, and I won.
In the words of Michael Bisping, you're not gonna do that, buddy.
No. I said that shit. Valentina Shevchenko is going to absolutely work Rihanna style. This girl, Talia Santos, she's going to be gas-winded and fucked up, probably round 3, round 4. Valentina Shevchenko, the Bullet, retains her title and absolutely dominates that Brazilian ass. The next fight of the night is the main event. Glover Teixeira takes on Yuri Prochazka. I'm going to let you jump into that first one, Mr. Bane.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really exciting fight. I don't think light heavyweight has had this much intrigue in a decent amount of years because it does feel like the belt could be on any of those top 4 contenders. Yuri Prochazka, 2-0 within the UFC, 2 massive finishes, the big KO of the year contender on Dominic Reyes and the big KO of Volkan Oezdemir. But he's shown a couple weaknesses in these fights, and it's often overlooked because of the grandiose natures of his finishes. Because they're so highlight reel, people forget the actual fight itself. Dominic Reyes was doing a decent job. He was catching him cleanly a couple times, and granted, it wasn't necessarily stumbling Yuri or really concerning him in that manner. It shows that there are defensive holes. Glover Teixeira, a decent boxer. He's more traditional. He's a bit slower at the ripe old age of 42, but he does pack a lot of power. That's what he's shown. And the grappling deficiency that Prochazka has displayed is where my interest lies entirely. If this gets to the ground, I do believe that Glover finishes it quickly. A lot of people have talked about Yuri's physicality, his ability to power up. That absolutely exists. I'm not denying it. I'm just simply suggesting that Glover is that good when it hits the mat. He has proven that time and time 100%. Again. And so, to summarize exactly the ending, it's going to be within the first or second round. I think Glover's got 19 first-round finishes. Prochazka's got like 23 first-round finishes. So it's not going to go long. But I think what's going to happen is Yuri's going to come out guns blazing, knock Glover down in traditional Teixeira fashion. Glover is going to somehow snatch a single or reverse the momentum, find Yuri's back, and end it either via ground and pound or find a rear naked choke. That's exactly how I think this is going to play out.
Love it. Good breakdown, Bane. What do you say about it, B? Your mic, B.
My bad.
Live show. Hey, Bane, look at this. You see this bottle? Half killed from one stroke. Look at that.
Jeez.
Did work, son. Work. All right, but get it, Mr. Beast. What do you got?
All right, guys. So, Bane, you going with Glover.
Mm-hmm.
Going with Glover. Okay.
I know it's more of a controversial thing. So many people are high on Prochazka. I am as well. I'm just that big on Glover. I think old man Glover is at a point in his career where he's a veteran, and he's proven that if you rock him, if you drop him, it's not like it was years ago where he's done. The Gustafsson fight, the Rumble fight. I mean, he was done. But Thiago Santos, Jan Blachowicz, Anthony Smith, he has faced this early adversity from these guys, these fast starters, and rallied immensely. I think Yuri Prochazka is going to be in that exact same position.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you say?
Okay. So I'm not gonna get ganged up on this time around. That's good. I'm going with Glover on this one as well. I think Glover has been through hell and back. He's catching his stride now. On a really good win streak. Yuri is a complicated case almost. Last time he got finished, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It is King Mo, right? I think it was King Mo that beat him back in Rising a few years ago.
2015. Yep. KO.
Yeah. King Mo caught him clean.
Scary.
Since then, he's been a lot different. When I look at Yuri Prochazka, I look at him and I say, damn, this is what Tony was supposed to be if Tony would have started the sport a lot sooner. The madness I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yuri Prochazka causes a lot of madness in the cage. He does all these awkward movements, these awkward strikes from these awkward angles. He tends to get clipped, but wears it very well. Then he comes in with this constant pressure. He ramrodded Reyes with that. He caught Ozdemir with that. But because of that pressure, he leaves himself open. Glover's going to be smart enough to take advantage of that and get those takedowns, man. He's going to make those takedowns work. He's a lot smarter. He's not going to go in there and try to exchange crazy, although he gets clipped a couple times in his fights. Santos clipped him. I think, he had that thing with Anthony Smith before he turned it around on both of them. And goddamn, that was a downhill. You know what I mean? For those guys. But
busted teeth.
Yeah.
So,
he was spitting out chiclets and shit. That shit was crazy.
Bad, man. Man said I have my teeth there.
Pull my teeth, please. Pull my teeth, Herb.
Yeah, man. I'm going with Glover, man. I think Glover's gonna look to piece this guy up a little bit. He has to be wary of the randomness of Yuri. I'll eventually try to take this man down and get a lot of control on him, wear him down, beat him down, and either get this get a finish, a TKO finish, or a submission. I'll lean more towards the submission than the TKO finish, probably. Yeah. But it's gonna be a very, very rough couple rounds for Glover. If Glover doesn't get it started initially, because as I said, Yuri got range, and Yuri is a wild card, man, when he starts throwing these strikes out there, man.
Yeah, he is.
But I'm gonna rock with Glover. I think Glover gets it done though.
It's crazy. It's crazy to hear both of you guys go with Glover. When and like I said, I have a rule here on the Cope's Corner. When it's a veteran versus a newcomer, and the veteran still has some gas left in the tank, I can't go against the veteran who has the more experience, who has repped those rounds, that has been there with some of the best of the world. So with this, I'm rolling with you guys again. It's fucking crazy. Either we're gonna be absolutely dominating this card, or we're both gonna be back next week talking about how fucking absolutely
stupid we are. Yeah.
Hey, it can happen. So tune back next week to see who the fuck is talking shit. Because hey, even when I talk shit, I'll even admit when I'm wrong. So it is what it is. But this is going to be one of those cards. It just seems crazy that we were going with the same people, and we didn't talk about this. We didn't rehearse it. We didn't know each other's picks, and so with this, Glover Teixeira, obviously BJJ black belt, who barely even needed to use his BJJ for a long time in his mixed martial arts career. The only downside that he has is that he's 42 years old, and he might move a little bit slower than a 32-year-old or 29-year-old with Yuri Proschka. I love Yuri. I think he's an absolute phenomenal fighter. I think that he's going to be a big name in the UFC for the years to come. But he has not faced anyone near the competition that Glover Teixeira is, or the upper echelon of the sport. So I can't throw my money down on someone like Yuri, even though I love him. I love everything he's about. I love his striking. I love his mixed martial arts attributes. But Glover Teixeira has given you no reason to quit on him. If he gets his fight down on the ground, Yuri Prochazka has shown the fact that he taps and he loves the nap. And Glover Teixeira is my pick here. Right now, the odds makers have Glover Teixeira as a plus 185 underdog. It's super disrespectful. They opened him up at a plus 108. So the public has bought him down 62 cents. So, I mean, if you want to be with the public, be with the public. But I like being on the opposite side. I'm picking Glover Teixeira here by domination, devastation. The old man, Glover Teixeira, retains his title, and Yuri Prochazka will end up being the champion later down the road. But with that said, that's this weekend's UFC 275 and the bets for Cope's Corner. Stoked to have Mr. B here and the Bane, Ben Davis, AZ's finest, the kid, the infamous one. Since we have a little bit of time, I'm gonna ask Bane. Bane, what got you into mixed martial arts? When was the first event since you're a young buck?
Yeah, no, it definitely was more recent, and so that's why when people throw out the words casuals describing others, or the hardcore versus the casual, I always get like imposter syndrome because I've gotten into it in the last couple of years. But the first UFC card that I watched was Daniel Cormier versus John Jones 2. That was the first one. It was at a Buffalo Wild Wings. I was in high school. My best friend at the time was like, "Hey man, you got to come out,
dub, baby,
watch this event." Yeah, right. And nice. I was initially very hesitant because I look around at this bar and there are just a ton of like harsh-looking individuals. Yeah, there are all these biker guys. And I was a little nervous, right? I'm a small guy now. I was a smaller guy then.
Hey, Bane. Bane, do you know this? So you know my brother is War Machine, right? John Copenhaver from Ultimate Fighter season 6. Do you know that?
No
do you know-
way.
do you know who that is? Right?
Yep.
I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
he's
heard
in
the name.
prison. He's in prison for the rest of his life now for beating that porn star. But either way,
Yeah.
the fact is, I've been around UFC since UFC 1. So I don't care what UFC you jumped into it if your dedication to the sport is as big as yours is. So I was just curious because a lot of people don't really get to know Ben Davis, the backstory. So the fact that John Jones, Dan Cormier too, was the first fight that you saw at B-Dub Dubs. Shout out to B-Dub Dubs and that mango habanero hot sauce.
Oh, yes.
That mango habanero is so fucking
Too
good.
good.
But
Too good.
that shit will fuck you up though sometimes. But yeah, so I was curious on when you got into mixed martial arts, Bane, because I was lucky enough that my dad died. He was an LAPD officer. He died when I was 9 years old, and that was in 1995. So, but we were able to watch the first UFC with him live on the pay-per-view before he passed away. So that my dad died when I was 9, my brother was 13, and then my brother got into the mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu with Gracie Jiu-Jitsu when he was 13. And then I got into it later on. But the point is that that's where my brother got his whole spiel. That's why you see the Ultimate Fighter season 6 right here, and then my dad shadow box right here for being the LAPD stud. Rest in peace. But I really can't thank you enough, Mr. B and the Bane Ben Davis. You guys really got to follow the Bane. This kid, I worked for Hollywood. I worked for Netflix, Paramount, for CBS, for Fox, for everywhere. I build walls for them as a carpenter. Prop maker, so local 44 Hollywood, baby. But Ben, I know this kid right here, he's the shit, dude. He's gonna be something big in life if he keeps on pushing the way that he is. I've met a lot of people in my life, and you definitely got it, Ben. So I appreciate you being here. You want to shout out your Twitter handle so that people can follow you?
Definitely, man. Yeah, at Ben the Bane Davis on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, fucking wherever, you name it. I got a lot of huge things to announce hopefully this month and some big things coming in the fall that I can't wait to really start cracking on the timeline and things like that. So hopping out. I like to consider myself as a stock coach. And at this point in time, it's buy season.
I'm one of the first. I invested in Bitcoin when it was $900 in 2016. I invested in Tesla. It was $199 before it split 5 ways, and that'd give me 5 times as many stocks. AMD, Nvidia. I was on all of those with stocks. So I'm telling you, I know when to invest in something. And my boy Ben Davis, the Bane, is the man. And so I appreciate you being here, my dude. Really can't thank you enough, Mr. B, the man. You want to shout out your Twitter handle, my dude?
Find me Twitter, Mr. B at Mr. B 1986, man.
Nice.
Simple as that.
Yeah, get that OK Live going, B, for the UFC tomorrow, so we can have some fun. Because I know Army Vet and Mel and a lot of people have been asking about your live streams. So we love the live hangouts when the UFC is going on. But with that said, that's this episode of Cope's Corner. I can't thank you enough for being here, Ben, Mr. B, the KOPE, the OG. Thank you so much. Until next week, till next time, let's fucking roll.
Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's a brace, boy. Yeah, that's a brace, little man. Break it down. Degenerate tonight. Degeneration. You think you can tell me what to do? Know who you're talking to? Well, you better get used to the way the war bounces.